Autumn is one of the coziest times of the year, but it's also one of the best seasons for surprises. Hello, everybody. Jennifer Maker here. It's a beautiful day to learn how to sublimate a fun Peekaboo t-shirt without any sewing. Have you seen these popular Peekaboo panel t-shirts around recently? I just love how fun they are. Plus, they're an easy way to turn a plain t-shirt into something really eye-catching. See how the colors peek at you from behind the rips in the fabric? It's almost like a mystery. What's hiding behind those layers of cloth? Careful, don't get too close. It might jump out at you. Can you tell I'm in a Halloween mood? That's how we came up with the idea for Peekaboo shirts with spooky autumn vibes. They just work so well together, don't you think? And I am so excited to share with you just how easy these are to make. So let's talk sublimation first. For our Peekaboo shirts, we'll start by sublimating our designs onto this white 100% polyester panel. The fabric's polymers are perfect for absorbing the sublimation ink during the heating process, resulting in beautiful, vivid images. Other polyester blends will work too, but you want to pick an option that is as close to 100% polyester as possible to get this awesome look. If you are new to sublimation and all this talk about polyester content is a mystery to you, check out my Sublimation for Beginners guide at jennifermaker.com/sublimation for beginners. It's a great place to begin. And of course, to make the sublimation process yield great results, you're going to need the best tools and supplies to ensure a successful transfer. And that all starts with a high quality printer like my Epson EcoTank that I'll be using today. I also have my Hippo sublimation ink and A-Sub sublimation paper, which I can always count on for gorgeous prints. For heat pressing, I have my 12 by 10 inch Easy Press 2 for full even coverage of my design. I also have a pressing mat to protect my work surface and a fan for added ventilation. Now, sublimation releases fumes as the ink turns into gas, and you do not want to breathe those in, so make sure your fan is nearby and in working condition. And if you're aiming for truly eye-catching effects of this Peekaboo shirt style, you're going to want the best shirt for the job. Using a darker color hides the panel underneath better than light options, based on my testing, so I recommend starting with a black shirt. I also recommend using this 65% polyester, 35% cotton blended t-shirt because the fabric is springy and it curls well along the tears in the fabric, so you can see more of the design behind the tears. And speaking of the tears, how do we make them since we're not going to use a cutting machine today? See, no cutting machine on the table. It's simple. We're going to use a handheld rotary cutter. It does the slicing while a self-healing cutting mat protects our work surface. These are simple and fun to use, and I think you'll really like working with your hands for this part. And last but not least, we are going to need a design to hide behind the tears in our fabric. I have 4 already made for you designs to celebrate this season. Remember how I said we would be attaching our designs without sewing at all? This is awesome. So here's the trick or treat behind that. Permanent adhesive fabric tape. This tape creates a permanent bond between our sublimated polyester panel and the fabric of our t-shirt. No needles are necessary. I'll show you exactly how that works in this tutorial. You can see the rest of the tools and materials used in this project at jennifermaker.com/648. And if you're curious how to create a custom Peekaboo panel, stay tuned for more details, and I'll share all of that with you. So, are you ready to make some sneaky, possibly spooky t-shirts? Let me show you where to get my free files, and we'll begin. Step 1. Get my Peekaboo panel designs. First, download my design at jennifermaker.com/648. You can either download right from that link by saving the project, or download from my entire free design collection. To find it, look for Libraries in the red bar at the top, and then click either Get a Password if you don't yet have one, or click Enter the library. Search the page for design number 648 and click the link to download the design. Here are the fall and Halloween themed designs. In the PNG folder, there are several sublimation designs: a cat and a pumpkin design, a skeleton design, a ghost design, and a pumpkin design. I used an AI art generator to create these cute designs, and then I made them even more awesome with image editing software. If you want to learn more about the process, check out my AI art playbook at jennifermaker.com/AI art. Step 2. Prepare your Peekaboo Sublimation panel. To create my shirt, I'm using a women's medium t-shirt, and I want to center the panel and Peekaboo cuts on the front. I'm going to use most of a legal size 8.5 by 14 inch piece of sublimation paper, so my design is easy to recognize. If you're using a different size or going for a different look, you can adjust the panel and design size to fit the look that you want, as long as it will fit your printer paper. Keep in mind that cuts should be 1 or 2 inches smaller than the design, so the panel's edges aren't visible. All right, so let me show you how I did it. On the computer, go to jennifermaker.com/Google Docs and click Blank Document. Once the page opens, click the File menu and select Page Setup. This is where you can customize the page to use more of the paper. Check the box next to Portrait and change your margins to 0 to use more of the page. Then change your paper size to match your sublimation paper. Since I'm using 8.5 by 14 inch or legal size paper, I'll choose that option. Click OK to apply the settings. To add and adjust your design, go to the Insert menu, select Image, and select Upload from Computer. Then open the sublimation design that you want to use. I'll use my spooky cat. Click the area that says Untitled Document at the top and type a name for the file. To resize the design, click Image Options at the top. Then select Size and Rotation. Keep the Lock Aspect Ratio box checked to maintain the design's proportions, and change the width field to the design area you want to create. I'll make my design 8 inches wide to fill most of the page. The height field will automatically adjust proportionately. Click the image and select the wrap text icon from the menu that appears below it. This setting lets you click and drag the design anywhere on the page, like the middle, so you know nothing will get cut off at the edges. That's all there is to it. Next, go to the File menu and choose Print. Then select your sublimation printer under Destination. Click the arrow beside More Settings to select Print Using System dialog with more control. Now, your print menu may look different than mine. Just make sure to select the sublimation printer with the correct size paper, select Flip horizontally, and select the highest quality matte paper setting. Follow the packaging instructions to load your sublimation paper into the printer. Then click Print to send your document to your printer. Allow the print to dry before handling it, as the ink can smear and negatively affect your sublimation results. The printed design will appear lighter before pressing it, but don't worry about that because this is completely normal. Once you heat up and transfer your design, the sublimation process will bring your colors to life. Step 3. Prepare and press the Peekaboo panel and shirt. Remember, always open a window or turn on a fan before sublimating to help improve your ventilation. Place your white polyester fabric on a self-healing mat. Put the print on top and then carefully cut the fabric about 1 inch larger on each side using your handheld rotary cutter or a pair of scissors. If you use a rotary blade, check the safety features on your tools, especially around the sharp blade. If yours has a blade guard like mine does, re-protect the blade as soon as you're done with the tool to protect yourself. Set your heat press to the correct temperature and time. According to my sublimation cookbook, the Easy Press 2 needs to be set at 385 degrees Fahrenheit or 196 degrees Celsius to preheat polyester fabric for 10 seconds. Place your pressing mat on your work surface with protective white cardstock on top. Lint roll the polyester panel all over to remove dust or debris that can interfere with the transfer. Then place the panel on the protected pressing mat. Lightly press the top half of the panel for 10 seconds to remove excess moisture from the material and smooth out any extra wrinkles. Allow the panel to cool a bit, and then slide the cardstock under the bottom half of the panel. Lightly press the bottom half for another 10 seconds. Once the panel is cool, center the printed design face down on top of it. Use heat-resistant tape on all 4 sides to secure the design to the fabric, making sure it's smooth. Place a piece of butcher paper on top of the panel and tape design. Set the Easy Press to 385 degrees Fahrenheit or 196 degrees Celsius and the timer to 40 seconds. Once your Easy Press comes to temperature, press the top half of the design with a light pressure. When the timer is up, allow the design to cool slightly to prevent ghosting. Then remove both the butcher paper and the cardstock. We don't want to reuse these as they could transfer ink to the bottom of our panel. Place a fresh sheet of cardstock under the panel's bottom half and fresh butcher paper on top of the design. Press the bottom half of the panel for another 40 seconds. Allow the design to cool for at least 10 seconds, then remove the butcher paper, tape, and transfer sheet to reveal the panel. Keep the used design sheet nearby because we'll use it as a template later. While your press is still set to 385 degrees Fahrenheit or 196 degrees Celsius, set it for 10 seconds to preheat the t-shirt. Fold your shirt in half vertically and press it for 10 seconds along the crease. When you open it up, you have a center line and smooth fabric on either side. Set your shirt aside for now. With the fabric panel design side up on your self-healing mat, add permanent fabric tape right outside the ink on all 4 edges, leaving the backer papers in place. This fabric tape is very sticky, so don't let it stick where you don't want it. It's okay if the corners overlap though. Safely cut along the tape's outer edges using your handheld rotary cutter or scissors. The tape's adhesive will help keep the edges from fraying, but you can trim the excess threads with scissors too. Step 4. Cut your Peekaboo shirt. Place the used design paper face up on your self-healing mat so we can make it into a cutting template. The design will be faded, but you should still be able to see enough to find the edges. Add 1 inch of painter's tape to the edges overlapping the design to make a guide 1 inch away from the 4 edges. Bring the template's long edges together to make a vertical crease down the middle. Now place the t-shirt face up on your work surface with the vertical crease visible. Put the template on the shirt, centering the design by matching up the top creases. Or use my t-shirt guide rulers to help with design placement. Use a ruler to find 3 inches down from the collar seam. Then align the lower edge of the template's top tape with that mark. Align the bottom crease on the template with the vertical line on the shirt. Use painter's tape to hold the template in place on the shirt. Now, without shifting the design, slide a self-healing mat larger than the design area inside the shirt to protect the back of the shirt from the cuts. Adjust the shirt around the cutting mat so the layers are smooth, the seams match, and the design is centered correctly. Now, safely holding the shirt and template in place, make cuts across the inside of the template, avoiding the taped off sections. To get a more ripped look, you can angle your cuts, randomize their widths, or make some shorter than the others. Just don't make them too close together, unless you're okay with a section possibly tearing. I like the look of thinner sections near the middle, and I'll stop my cuts about 1.5 inches from the bottom to avoid showing the tape if the fabric sags. Remove the template and tape to see your slices. If your blade didn't go all the way through on any slices, you can either leave the pieces connected or cut them with scissors or the handheld rotary blade. Now that you have your cuts, remove the inside mat, then turn the shirt inside out with the front face up. Cutting the slits can create lint and loose threads, so lint roll all of the cuts and surrounding fabric really well so they don't interfere with the fabric tape. Place the prepared design face down over the cuts to make sure the decorated area is inside them. The design's taped edges should be on the uncut shirt sections. The panel doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but make sure the top is oriented correctly so you won't see white edges from the fabric tape. Once the panel is positioned, place your ruler on the design near the top edge to hold it in place. Then carefully lift the tape section and remove the backing paper without letting the taped panel touch the shirt. Make sure the shirt is smooth, then lay the taped panel down and press it in place from the center outward to prevent any wrinkles. Smooth any wrinkles before pressing the tape in place. Once the top is secure, carefully smooth the shirt and panel down toward the bottom edge. Secure the bottom and then the side edges too. Once all 4 edges are in place, use your brayer to really smooth the tape into place. Then turn the shirt right side out and see how the design looks through the slits. You can adjust the slits and fabric strips to create the look you want by pulling the edges to make them thinner or snipping small connections. If you find any wrinkles in the taped area, gently reach between the panel and shirt to grasp the top layer nearby. Hold the panel and shirt layer outside the tape steady with your other hand. Gently stretch the t-shirt layer in toward the design to help smooth out the wrinkles. Step 5, show it off. And here is what my finished Peekaboo Sublimation Shirt looks like. Isn't this a cool effect and so easy to do? Step 6, customize it. Would you like to create a Peekaboo shirt with a different theme? I can show you how to plan and design your own panels through a special program called Advance with Jennifer Maker over at jennifermaker.com/advance. The Advance program helps you advance your crafting skills by teaching you how to truly make these popular designs unique and special through templates and tutorials, as well as give you advanced access to my vast library of designs, projects, and resources. Plus, we have a fantastic community for you to join and fun member challenges to spark your creativity. I love visiting our group every day to see what everyone is making. Now, I may or may not be accepting new members into the advanced program at the time you see this, but if you're interested, go to jennifermaker.com/advance to learn more. And now you know the secrets to creating a Peekaboo shirt without sewing. The major keys to this are making a nice sublimation panel with consistent colors like this one, picking a shirt with the right fabric blend, carefully sticking the panel in place well with the tape, and sizing your cuts to show just enough of the design as we have here. Now, one of the things I really like about Peekaboo shirts is that they let us use dark fabrics in our sublimation projects. It can be difficult to get our bright colors to show on black shirts without using special sublimation products, so this is a great workaround. And even though we didn't sublimate the t-shirt itself, the fabric content was more important than I would have guessed. The cut strips on the 100% polyester shirts didn't curl in shape quite as I'd hoped, but they're definitely an option if you like the more jagged look. And while I love the feel of 100% cotton shirts, cutting them creates way more lint than the other types. I think that kept some of the fabric tape from really adhering, so some of my tests separated a little during washing. So if comfort is really important to you, try lint rolling the cotton shirts really well before adding the tape. Now, caring for these t-shirts is easy because the ink dyes the fibers instead of sitting on top of them the way vinyl would. So I just want you to wait at least a day so everything sets, and then turn it inside out and wash it in cold or warm water with mild detergent. Then hang it to dry or tumble it with low heat. The design will last as long as the shirt. I just love how much color and interest we can add to a shirt with some patience and the right tools, don't you? I can't wait to see what you make with this. And remember, if you want to learn how to customize a Peekaboo panel with your own design, visit jennifermaker.com/advance for more information. So if you love this project as much as I did and you want to learn more about sublimation, come check out my Sublimation Startup mini course at jennifermaker.com/sublimation startup. I'll walk you through all the basics from setting up a sublimation printer with the right ink to which tools are helpful for beginners. I also show you how to use free software to print designs and share all of my tips on getting the best results with each press. Not to mention, I've got tons of ideas and designs for projects that you can sublimate. You can sign up right now and learn at your own pace without any pressure. I also have a Facebook group just for sublimation crafting, which is a great way to see all the fun you can have with it and all of the amazing things you can make. Whether you're new to sublimation or not, come join us at jennifermaker.com/sublimation group. We'd love to have you come ask questions, share ideas, and get inspired. And that's it for today. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.